Hello everyone, welcome to Maximize Your Cooking. Today I'm going to be showing you how to do some barbecue. It's one of my favorite things to do, and though I don't get to do it too often, well, I really enjoy to do it. What I like to do is do a 3-2-1 method with my ribs. What I'll do is I'll barbecue for 3 hours, just dry on the grill, and then I'll wrap them up. I'll barbecue for another 2 hours. I'll unwrap them, and then I'll finish them off for another hour. I'll be able to tell whether or not they're finished based on how much the meat has gone away from the bone. I like to use a commercial rub called Bad Byron's Butt Rub. It's really good. You can sometimes find it at your grocer. I actually found this at a Publix near me. But other than that, I mean, commercial rubs are really good. They're most likely gonna be a lot better than any rub that you can make or any recipe you find online. And while you can find rubs online, Amazon.com, just type in some barbecue rub. You'll get all sorts of stuff. I have this other rub, it's called the BBQ Rub from the Killer Hogs. I think Barbecue Web that guy is. It's pretty good. And, well, there are other rubs, backyard, bird rub, all sorts of things. Alright, so now I got my ribs all prepared and cut up. It's time to put on some rub. A lot of people put mustard or oil. I like to use oil to kind of bond the rub to the ribs. So just a little, I use olive oil, whatever kind of oil you want to use. Just a little bit on there. It's going to work to help keep the rub and stick on there rather than just slide right out. And to the underside too. Just rub it all over these babies. Alright, let's get these things all nice and rubbed out. Get your rub, sprinkle it all over there. And, well, if you're going to put rub on and then marinate it, probably want to use a little bit less, but since I'm not really going to marinate these in this rub for very long, I'm going to go in with a little bit more, because if you put in too much and it sits on for a long time, it'll be really salty. That's what I've found. So I'm not going to use, I would not use as much rub if you were going to let them marinate. Yeah, well, that looks good there. Turn it over. Sprinkle it on again. The front side, top side. And this Bad Byron's Butt Rub is just so good. I mean, it smells amazing. I was really taken aback when I first bought it. I opened it up and was just mesmerized by how amazing it smelled. It really had a great fragrance to it. This rub is relatively simple when you look at the ingredients on the back, and well, I've tried to imitate it sometimes, just never compares. This rub is a killer barbecue rub. And yeah, get it on the tops too. Cover the whole entire rack with your rub. Alright, so before I go out there and get my grill all going, one thing I want to show you how to do, and something I like to do, is I spray my ribs during their cooking every hour after the first hour. Obviously not when it's wrapped though. And what I do is I take about 8 fluid ounces of apple juice, any type of apple juice works, and a couple, maybe an ounce or two of some apple cider vinegar. And what it aims to do is just keep the ribs moist while they're cooking. It's totally optional, you don't have to do it, but it'll add a little bit of flavor to your ribs. So there we go, there's about 8 fluid ounces. You can even add a little more sugar to this if you want, pure white sugar, mix it in there. Make it nice and sweet. Go as you please when you make ribs. I mean, nothing's gonna really hurt it that much, and you might just find something you really like. First thing you want to do is get a drip pan out and fill it up with some hot water. The hot water will aim to steam and moisten the whole entire grill during the cooking, and it will also catch fat to keep your grill clean. Next, you're going to want to add some hot charcoal briquettes to your grill. Add enough so that the grill will be about 250 degrees Fahrenheit for cooking. I fill the charcoal chimney starter until I get hot for about 20 minutes. Then I add an extra few charcoal briquettes so that it will still be hot by the end of the hour. So I went back inside and I got my ribs out. Now I'm going to put a few chunks of of hickory wood, which is my favorite wood to use for barbecue. It really has a nice aroma and a really good smell and a really good taste for meat. And just get those on the hot coals so that they ignite a little bit, and then they'll start to smoke once you get everything going. So the meat I'm putting on now actually came from the spare ribs. It's the extra meat that you get on the top from when you cut it into the St. Louis ribs. And that meat is totally worth it. You don't have to throw it away. You can use it for stuff. I'm going to make them into rib tips, and well, they'll be really, really good. So it doesn't matter how many ribs you do, or how many slabs, whatever you got, put it on your grill, put it on your barbecue, your smoker, lay them out. You can even get rib racks, which stand them up. As long as they're in there at 250 degrees Fahrenheit, and you'll smoke those babies for about 6 hours. Like I said, the 3-2-1 method is the way to go. Makes it really tender and gives it a really good flavor. Once that's all set, put your lid on your barbecue. You're going to start a timer, and then you just got to make sure that you're at 250 degrees Fahrenheit. I use an electrical thermometer for that. Note that there's smoke coming out of my grill. In an hour there probably won't be as much smoke coming out, but it's fine. I'm going to put some more wood on then. It's been an hour now. My ribs looking pretty good here. First thing you want to do after you take your lid off or whatever, add some more charcoal briquettes. I add about 6 to 8 to keep my temperature at about 250 degrees Fahrenheit. One thing I like to do is put some aluminum foil in between the ribs and the charcoal. This way one side of the ribs won't get too hot and burned up. Make sure you add some more wood chunks or whatever your favorite wood is, or whatever wood you're using, onto the hot charcoal. Then get out that basting spray and spray your ribs down and get them nice and coated so that they get a little bit moist and nice and flavorized. Close that lid up and we'll come back in 1 hour. So another hour's gone by. We're now at hour 2 here. I'm gonna take my spray bottle and spray these ribs down again, get them nice and moistened. And the only other thing you have to do here at the hour 2 is put some more charcoal briquettes on. I add about 6 here. Coming back here, another hour's gone by. We're now at hour 3. I'm gonna start adding some more charcoal. Another thing, just add charcoal each and every single hour you come back to your grill. I'm going to give them a little mist down with my basting spray. And since it's hour 3, it's time to wrap these babies up. Take a look at how the bone's coming off of the meat there. So lay out some aluminum foil and take your ribs off. Put them down, and the next thing you got to do is take the basting spray and spray them all over. Both sides, under and meat side. And when it comes to the wrapping, you can really put anything you like inside. You can put some light brown sugar, or any brown sugar you want. You could put in some preserves, some jelly. You could put in some butter, add some little richness. But I always like to put in some honey. It gives it a nice sweetness, a nice little flavor. Especially with this Bad Byron's butt rub, it doesn't really have any sugar in it. So here it's a good thing to have some sweetness adding to these ribs. But again, just put it on both sides, get it nice and covered. You don't have to use too much. I mean, I probably only put in a couple tablespoons. One thing you're probably wondering about are these barbecue gloves I have. They really just aim to insulate so that I can touch hot food, and helps me do all the process a lot easier. But once you got your honey and all that jazz all in there, just gotta wrap it up with that aluminum foil nice and tight. And what we're gonna do is put the meat side down now. Before we had the meat side up on the grill. Now it's time to have the meat side down so that anything can kind of pull into those ribs and saturate and soak up that meat on top. So I'm gonna put the ribs meat side down back on the grill. And the only thing I'm gonna have to do for the next 2 hours is after 1 hour, put on some more charcoal in there. Otherwise, just replace the lid and wait another hour for charcoal. So I'm back here now. It's been 2 hours since I put the ribs on wrapped. Yeah, I have that chicken there. That's for another thing, but don't mind that. Take the ribs off, and we're gonna unwrap them. Again, the insulated barbecue gloves really help here. And always keep in mind that there might be some hot juices coming out of here. At this point, your ribs should have some good bone show. Mine have quite a lot of bone show, as you can see. That's a good thing. If you really want, you can take the ribs off and eat them now. They're definitely fully cooked. But I like to finish them off so that they spring back a little bit and they're not super muddy and falling off the bone. So I'm going to put them back on the grill. I determined I don't really need to put them on for the full hour, but depending on how cooked they are, put them back on there for an hour. Well folks, this is an extremely anticipated moment. My ribs are complete, they're finished, and I'm super excited to enjoy these. My ribs cooked for a total of about 5 hours and 40 minutes. And depending on how the bones show, you can determine when you want to take them off. You can baste them, put some barbecue sauce to finish them off. That's all you really got to do. And here are some pictures to enjoy for you. These ribs were a 10 out of 10. I really liked them, and my friend really liked them, and you will like them too.